I don't like think too much about what will happen in the game and stuff. I just try to focus on our practice, focus on what's happening right now, and making the best out of it.
This is a small talk about the last weekend, the matches against SK and Excel. And to start it off, I mean, when you were playing against SK, the second match, were there any feelings or anything coming into the match? Because last split, I mean, you had the tiebreaker against them, right? So was it personal, maybe?
No, not really. It was just another match for me. I didn't really have any special thoughts going into the match. It was just another match.
Then, just another match, just another day in the office, I guess. So, both times you were playing Vayne. I mean, it was the first time we saw you play Vayne, actually. So, kind of fun, because, first time you played it on stage. Was it a situational pick for you, or can we see this pick maybe more often from you?
Yeah, for sure it was a situational pick because of the enemy team composition, and also the lane matchup was quite decent for me, so I decided to pick Vayne because it just fit the situation well.
Yeah.
Got quite a big lead, but didn't manage to bring it home in the second game.
Okay. Then, the first game against Excel was, I think, really was one-sided, or in the beginning, I mean, it looked a bit like Schalke was struggling, but I think the win condition was really clear, and then in the end you managed to win it. And then the second game against SK, it looked same, like you had a really good win condition, I think, and coming into mid-game everything looked really, really good, like the Drake team fight was really good, the Ryze ult follow-up into them, up to the Baron, and then after you got the Baron, there were some crucial mistakes in the game, right?
Yeah.
So, with this in mind, would you say, or would you describe Schalke is in a really good spot right now compared to all the other teams, or do you still have to learn a lot?
I mean, I think it's too early to tell where we match up with the other teams, because you can look at scrims and you can see how good you are at scrims, and I think we're doing quite well.
I mean, I can see it, yeah.
Yeah, but playing on stage is always different, and teams play differently on stage a lot of the times. So you don't really know the real level of a team till you play them on stage. So I don't really know how good we are in the spot compared to the other teams, but the way we look at the games and the way we improve is definitely better than last split, and I think also quite good for now. So yeah, I see us being in a quite good spot improvement wise.
Yeah, well, especially after I watched your pro view this weekend when you were playing Vayne, and I can really recommend for anyone that you get pro view, because it was really fun watching you play Vayne into the enemy team comp, because they had I think a lot of minis, and it looked like it was really good pick into the enemy team comp, in two situations. So yeah. So then, how would you rank the current LEC teams from your knowledge? Because right now it looks like you scrimmed all of them, so you have more knowledge currently. It's just the first week, I think. Can you maybe give a small ranking of the teams?
Yeah, I mean, kind of. I think G2 is obviously the strongest team right now, and then they're followed by Origin, who's probably second. And then I think there's kind of a middle of the pack, which Fnatic is leading, but then there's the Splice.
Yeah.
They even had a close game versus Misfits, and I think Misfits seems to have improved quite a bit. And then there's us, and then there's SK, Rogue, Vitality, who judging from with the information I have, they seem to have been struggling a bit more as of late, and even the stage games didn't look too good yet. And then there's also Excel, who's similar than these teams. So I think it's 3 packs. I don't really know right now where we stand, because scrims are obviously very different, and teams are trying a lot of stuff. So yeah, I hope we will be in the upper part of the bracket.
Yeah, I mean, the way how it looked, the game against SK was, you were dictating the game most of the time. I think.
Yeah, it was just we were in the driver's seat for most of the game, and then we got the Baron, and then we set up for siege bot, but we gave them an opening, which we shouldn't do. It was kind of a weird mistake, because we were fully aware of the situation, that we didn't have TPs and stuff, but we still managed to give them the opening, And then out of this they got like 3 shutdowns on Esriel, who was 0-2 at this point. And I was really fat, so they got like a lot of experience from these kills and also a lot of time to farm. And then actually for the next Baron fight I was like pretty much even in gold, even though I had like 6 kills.
Yeah.
And then in this Baron fight I died at the start of the fight because there was a miscommunication between me and Igna, where I was asking for the lantern because I was playing really far up.
Yeah.
But he was hooking somebody at the same time, so he wasn't like focused on what I was saying, and I didn't use my flash even because I was waiting for the lantern. They just died, and then they got the Nash, and Astrid got like many more kills from this fight.
Yeah.
And after this point it was kind of hard for us to play because we didn't really have good engage, and they had to engage into us, but we had to play fights like very slow and kite back, but we were playing them a bit too fast, I think, going into them. So yeah, we ended up losing the game even though we were 6k ahead and had Baron. So yeah, obviously really frustrating, but there's a lot to take away from this game. And just the experience of losing a game like this is also quite valuable, I think, to learn to deal with stuff like this and come back and learn from it and accept it. Yeah.
Of course, of course. Okay, well then, I would say you have a decent chance coming into next weekend against Fnatic and then also against Splice. Of course, you can't say what you're gonna play or any like strategy. You don't want to give it away, of course. But now, before you go into the game, do you already have sort of a feeling? Okay, against Splice, do you think it is quite like obvious for you maybe that you're gonna win, or do you have an expectation on this match?
I mean, I always think I'm gonna win the match, but I don't really like to have like expectations like how the game is gonna go. I just hope we win the game and we're gonna be showing a good performance, but I don't like think too much about what will happen in the game and stuff. I just try to focus on our practice, focus on what's happening right now, and yeah, making the best out of it.
Okay, I see. Well then, also more specific, since you are the ADC for Schalke now, I want to ask about the bot lane 2v2 with Igna together. So of course there's always like solo matchups, like Odo is playing against Beppo, for example, or other situation like Abba is playing against Nemesis. How would you rank your bot lane compared to any other bot lane right now, like for example Misfits bot lane or even Fnatic's bot lane?
I think all the bot lanes right now have like different strengths and weaknesses. I think me and Igna are quite well rounded, but obviously we have our bad moments too. Also it's kind of hard to rank teams because it's like much more to the game than just looking at like 2v2 how you think you perform.
Yeah.
And I also can't know what other bot lanes bring to their team, but I would definitely rate us quite highly. I think we bring quite a lot to the table. So yeah, definitely one of the best ones, I think.
Okay. Then looking forward for the split, I mean, of course the split is young, it's just the first week, but do you already want to give like a prediction or something, like where does the road go for Schalke, this split?
No, I would rather just take it game by game, I think, and focus on the present and see where it leads us.
So thank you for being here, for being the first guest. Yeah. And yeah, like I think this series will come more often, probably with more guests, with the rest of the team. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.